the grass at Acrisure Stadium. Back to Ben Roethlisberger. He threw that grenade last week. Get Pitt out of here. What do you think about the suggestion that Pitt should just go back to Oakland? That's where they had their stadium before they moved to Heinz Field and shared space with the Steelers. Is that the solution, to just make that field Steelers only, no other football, no other teams, no other anything?
Well, it would be great if there was place to put Pitt and there was money for a project like that. David Tepper, the Panthers owner, is a Pitt grad, but he puts more money into a huge private university here that has great academic success, Carnegie Mellon, Mike, more than he does his alma mater Pitt, which is interesting.
It ain't that great. They let me in and gave me a degree.
There you go. Exactly. That's kind of why I said it there, to kind of jab you a little bit. But look, every college team should have its own stadium. I mean, I agree with Ben on that. It's just not feasible here at the moment. I don't understand why field turf is not a solution to this. We see probably half, if not the majority of NFL teams use it. It only seems to come up as an issue with injuries when we talk about MetLife Stadium in New Jersey and guys having knee injuries there. The rest of the time, it's kind of a moot point and doesn't really get discussed at all. Three River Stadium for 30 plus years had artificial turf. So it's not like the Rooney family is a firm believer that games have to be played on natural grass. I think that would make things a lot easier. Pat Narduzzi is a good friend of mine, the Pitt coach. He came on our show Monday, Mike, and said, I knew that turf after we had played there two weeks ago was shot. And I regret not calling Mike Tomlin and telling him, do not let your team play that game against the Browns. This field needs to be immediately resodded ASAP. So he knew that they were going to have major issues in that game against the Browns. And obviously it was so bad, a Steeler player got hurt, Rodgers ripped it, and then the NFLPA got involved.
Wow, that's news. I like that. I didn't expect news today. That's going to be a post at profootballtalk.com. Pat Narduzzi knew that the field was shot, and they've resodded it. The Panthers play there on Saturday, and then on Sunday night it'll be Steelers, Packers. But that's the first thing I'm doing when we come out of the green room and go out to the sideline to our position. I'm going to take a look at that field and see what it's like, because they've had issues in the past. We've yet to have a repeat of the punt that didn't bounce. That was from a Monday Night Football game in 2007 between the Dolphins and the Steelers. But still, I'm with you on, in my mind, the hierarchy goes like this: bad grass field at the bottom, artificial turf in the middle, high quality grass field at the top. And there have been so many anecdotes of players who clearly prefer high quality grass because the forces go into the ground. When you're on turf, the forces from your body go back up into your ankles, your knees, your hips, your body. They want high quality grass, but I'd rather have high quality artificial turf than a bad grass field.
It's definitely a very sensitive subject for the Steelers. I know immediately after that Browns game ended, just in the way the PR staff communicated with Steelers reporters, I don't think they liked that that was one of the big stories coming out of the game. I think the owners of the team really feel like it's an unfair criticism of them, which is kind of wild to me. What I don't get, Mike, is you have a team, you have a stadium east of us in Philadelphia. People forget that Temple plays there, and so do the Eagles. They have a hybrid of grass and artificial turf. The Steelers had that probably 20 years ago, and they didn't like it. They removed it after 1 year. But obviously the technology has changed in 2 decades. And I've never once read a report on your website that said, hey, Lincoln Financial Field's grass was a disaster. They need to get rid of it and replace it ASAP. So obviously in that climate 5 hours east of us, if they can do it with 2 teams on that hybrid surface they have, my opinion is that should be something the Steelers really look into.
We were there 7 weeks ago this morning doing the show, and I walked out to that field, and it was like heaven. So you're right. You're right. It's an excellent point. But that's why they're sensitive, Andrew.
Money.
Because you got to carve off some of the profits and reinvest it into the field. Hey, I was stunned by Mike Tomlin's comments on Tuesday. When the grass came up, he knew he's not touching this with a 10-foot lawnmower. Because he knows, because he should be livid that his players were subjected to a safety hazard. Nope. I'm going to stay in my lane. He knows to stay in his lane. because
I mean,
I think the grass is a sore subject.
Mike, I mean, he lost a special teams ace, which is not a totally insignificant player in Miles Killebrew, who's gone to Pro Bowls. But what if Boswell, when he slipped, had injured his knee and he's out for the year? And now the guy that's literally over the last few seasons been the difference between you missing the playoffs is out for the rest of the season. I wonder if he would have given us that cue, I don't cut my own grass line then.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.